with EasySolarShades.com, dual lock shade. Today we're going to install an easy, first off we're going to go ahead and measure our width and our height of the window. First off we're going to go ahead and measure our width and our height of the window.
By 50 and 1/2.
26 and a half. When we order, we want to subtract
50 and
about
1/2.
a half inch on each dimension. When we order, we want to subtract about a half inch on each dimension. Order 26 That'll make sure our shade fits properly. So we're going to order 26 inches by 50 inches. Okay, our shade has arrived. It's going to come in a long box. Roll up. Get your shade. And also the mounting pads that are used to install the shade. So first thing we need to do is clean and prep both the shade and the window. I'm going to remove the pad from the envelope and prep the corners, especially the corners. The corners are the most important part. And the top is more important than the bottom and the sides because most of your weight will be held on the top. Okay, these are alcohol pads, so they're going to dry pretty quickly. And while we're waiting for that to dry, we'll go ahead and do the same thing to the shade itself. Now when you pull it out, it's going to have a little bit of curl because of being rolled up so long. That goes away fairly quickly, especially if it's a warm day when you install it. Sometimes it's actually better to install on a warm day because you can actually adjust it. The sun will warm the shade up so you can adjust it pretty easily. And I'll show you how to do that. Again, we want to prep the corners and the sides of the shade itself. Go ahead and rub that in on each corner, both the sides and the top. Basically that's going to remove any oil or grease that was used as a lubricant when the product was manufactured. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a few seconds. We're installing this shade on the outside of the window. If you can, that's really going to give you the best performance. The sun is going to hit the shade before it hits the window, and that's going to really make a difference on how much heat it blocks out. There's no reason you can't do this on the inside. But is more effective on the outside if you can do that. Next we're going to go ahead and actually install the pads themselves. And you're going to get instructions. They're going to give you detailed step-by-step information about how to install these. And of course you can watch the video. This video is basically intended just to give you an idea of how easy this is, really. So in each corner we want to start by, when your pads come, they're going to be already locked together. So you can see that it's just like a Velcro. It's dual lock, which is a plastic Velcro. It's made by 3M. Holds up very well outside. But you want to leave them together, and I'll show you why. Now that we have a little bit of a roll on our shade, we want to go ahead and install them on the inside of that curve, and that'll help us. We won't be fighting that curve as we install it. So again, we're going to go ahead and release some of the liner off of one side of the pad. And we're going to put it about a 1/4 inch inside on each corner. One there, and one there. So we know that we're going to do that on each corner, and then we're going to go back and install in the middle, on top and bottom, and then we're going to go about every foot down the side. Okay, we've completed putting the pads on all the corners and spaced them evenly around the sides. You can see there's 2 in each corner, and then we put one every 18 inches on the sides, and again over here on these corners. Now we're ready to install. What we want to do is remove the liner on the top pads. So we've got each corner 2, one in the middle. We're going to go ahead and take those pads off. Works good if you have good fingernails. Okay, now we're ready to install. So we want to kind of hold it up there and make sure that we're putting it in the middle, but it doesn't have to be perfect at this point because we're going to be able to adjust this. So we're going to go ahead, eyeball it in, and that looks about right, and that looks about right. So we're going to go ahead and press those into place right there. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing on the other sides and bottom. Pull those off. We'll pull a little bit tight and install. Do the same thing over here. Pull it down a little bit and across. We want a nice tight fit. Same thing on the bottom and the sides. So if we put it up and we notice that it doesn't fit exactly the way we want it to, if it's off one side or crooked, that's easy to fix. We can go ahead and just pull the shade off and readjust it. And this might be something you're going to want to do after it's installed for a day or two, because as the heat warms the shade up, it may get a wrinkle or something in it, and that's very easy to fix. All we want to do is go ahead and pull it off. Now, part of the Velcro is going to remain on the window. We can leave that up all year. But again, now we can go ahead and pull that up tight and put it exactly where we want it. And there you have it. That's going to hold up in the windstorm, rainstorm, good all summer. Going to reject about 90% of the heat.